What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is the fifth and final day of 450 North Week here on the channel. And throughout this week, I've been reviewing beers from the 450 North Brewing Company, and they're out of Columbus, Indiana. And for the final day, I have their Double Stacked Flapjack Nuggets. So they are calling this a pastry stout with maple syrup, vanilla, lactose, and cinnamon. Comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in the time of review. This beer is right around 3 weeks old. So first things first, I have to give a huge shout out and thanks to my buddy Todd for basically sponsoring 450 North Week. He hooked me up with all 5 beers that I'm reviewing this week. So in the description box, I will be posting a link to the beer mail unboxing video that I did of said goodies he sent my way. Although at this point, I've reviewed the vast majority of them. So check it out if you want to. If not, no big deal. But I do want to thank Todd because he's a great guy and he hooked me up with some awesome beers. So this beer, if you look behind me on the pretentious wall of bottles and cans, you will see Flapjack Nuggets. So what's the difference between that and the double stacked version? Well, good question. Based on what information I can gather from their Facebook page, the double stacked version is 10% alcohol by volume, while the original was 9%, so a 1% increase in ABV. And they're using more vanilla and maple syrup in this one. So that's all I can decipher from what they said. Did they really need to make a whole new beer? I don't know, but 450 North, I guess, is known for doing things like that. I thought Flapjack Nuggets was one of the best beers of 2018 that I reviewed. So when I saw this included in my beer mail and Todd told me I was getting it, I was super pumped. Now, when I opened up the other one, it exploded, so I'm hoping this doesn't do the same. 450 North has a tendency to overfill. Nah, not too bad, so we should be good. Although a lot of beer went all over the table, so I'm gonna have to wash this tablecloth. Anyway, let's give it a pour. This beer's been out of the fridge for over half an hour, so and I put it in the fridge, Paul over at PA Brew News. I put the beer in the fridge because from what I know of their beers and what I've had in my experiences and what Todd has told me, they have carbonation issues at times. This beer exploded on me. Another one of their beers was super carbonated, so I try to put them in the fridge, hopefully, and drink them a little bit cooler than I would like. This one's probably in the 50-55 range. I would prefer this be closer to room temperature, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, that pours out a very deep, dark, not even say brown, that's basically black. When I was pouring it, it wasn't quite motor oil, but it was close. Had about a half finger of a straight up brown head. Very tightly compact bubbles to the head, very creamy looking. Although the head's dissipating, I can't really generate more than a finger of it. So some decent alcohol legs on the side of the glass. It looks the part of an Imperial Stout. Technically, this is an Imperial Milk Stout because there's lactose in it. So they should call it Imperial Milk Stout with maple syrup, vanilla, and cinnamon. But, you know, semantics, what are you going to do? Anyway, nose. Yeah, smells fucking great. That one smelled great. This one smells great. Honestly, this smells like authentic maple syrup on pancakes. It has a big bready, almost chocolatey note. It's almost like you took some pancakes and you poured some chocolate syrup and maple syrup, sprinkled some cinnamon and powdered sugar on top of it. Yeah, this is all maple syrup and dark, sweeter dark chocolate. I don't know if it smells more intense or, you know, if there's a better nose to this one than the original, but it definitely smells very similar. Yeah, it smells fucking great. It smells like breakfast in a can. I want to get into it. Cheers. There's not much more to say about the nose. Maple syrup, vanilla, I should say maple syrup, cinnamon, breadiness, chocolate, deliciousness in a glass, hopefully. Cheers, and thanks again, Todd. .450 North is, I don't know what the prevailing thoughts for most people are, what the opinion of this brewery is, what locals think about it, what people who have had their stuff think about it in general. I know Todd likes it. I know the stuff that he sent to Rod over at Rod J Beer Ventures and Eric over at Eric Alliance Fan. They've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed most of their offerings, and this is just another delicious beer. First off, 10%, it's a bit thin. Eric Gilbert, Paul, it's a bit thin. Chris, settled down, a bit thin. Probably lower side of full body, higher side of medium body. It does have a soft, smooth creaminess to it. This is definitely less carbonated than their regular flapjacks, which is nice to see. So I think the body mouthfeel might be a little bit better from that perspective. The taste is kind of what you expect. I will say this, the nose didn't translate as well, maybe even a little bit better, honestly. First off, huge maple syrup, but that vanilla. They're saying they're using more vanilla and maple syrup. I can see what they're saying about, because I'm getting a huge vanilla blast. Authentic vanilla. I'm hoping they're using vanilla beans. Even if they're using an extract, it smells great and tastes great. Yeah, basically like you took more or less pancakes and you sprinkled chocolate syrup, maple syrup, some vanilla, or you made the pancakes with vanilla or vanilla extract, sprinkle a little bit of sugar and like powdered cinnamon sugar mix. That's what you have in liquid form. If you love pastry stouts, you will love this beer, or you should. Can't say for sure if you will. I'm saying I think you should. Yeah, I mean, it's a big sweet beer. There is almost no bitterness to speak from this one. You would think maybe the alcohol would have a little bit of dryness on the tongue. Maybe it's get some bitterness from like the roasted malt or, you know, whatever hops they're using in this, but you don't. This is sweet through and through. You have to like sweeter pastry stouts to enjoy this beer. Luckily, I do. When it comes to pastry stouts, I love them, especially if they're done right and they're done well. And this one is done right and well. I cannot tell you this is 10%. If I was drinking this blind, I'd say 7, 8 max. Hides the alcohol extremely well. And yeah, it's another winner from 450 North. Is it the best pastry stout I've ever had? It's up there. Probably not in the top 3, but might approach the top 5, definitely top 10. And do I like it more than the original, I guess, is the question I would ask myself. And the answer to that is I like them pretty much equally. I think this one has a bit more pronounced maple syrup and vanilla, but I think that one had a bit more complexity to it. But regardless, these are great beers. So Double Stacked Flapjack Nuggets, 4.75 out of 5. 450 North knows what they're doing, in my opinion. I want more of their slushies. I want more of their pastry stouts. I would like to see, I don't know if they brew just like regular style beers, but I'd love to see just like a Pilsner from 450 North, or like, you know, just something simple. Like give me a Schwarz beer, or, you know, something that isn't as easy to hide faults and whatnot. Because I think they do great with, you know, what's popular nowadays, hazy IPAs, fruited sours, pastry stouts. They do a great job with those, but I would like to see some just regular offerings from them and see if, you know, they can just brew like a 5% Pilsner. It'd be awesome. And that goes for a lot of breweries out there, honestly. But yeah, I'd be curious to see if they could do something like that. I would imagine they could. But regardless, what I've had from them has been awesome. So thanks a lot to, thanks again to Todd for all the beers this week. 450 North has been a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope if you've been on the fence with 450 North, or you've heard about them or whatever, maybe this makes you want to go out and maybe acquire their beers through a trade or hit up the brewery, whatever the case may be, because Todd said he's going to hook us up with more down the line, and I cannot wait. So thanks again, Todd, and thanks to everybody for watching this week. 450 North has been a blast, and appreciate you guys stopping by for another review. Till the next one, cheers.